Halloween Haunter here, and welcome back to another Halloween video. In this Halloween video, we're talking about the Lowe's Halloween lineup for the 2022 Halloween season. Now, for this video, it's strictly just a list of a bunch of Lowe's items, and some of these items you already know about because of leaked pictures or items that were sold at previous stores in the past. So I am just strictly going to be going off what we have on these lists and what we have so far. Now, I'm not going to be talking about every little thing on these lists because there's a whole bunch of lists here, and I'm not going to go over every single prop or else this video would be so long. I'm just going over the main animatronics and props that are most notable in this. I also won't be going over any of the inflatables. I'm sorry, I know people like those, but I am not an inflatable channel, so it's not really my job to go ahead and talk about it. But regardless, let's go ahead and start talking about the lineup. For this first list, I'm not really talking about anything here. There's really just gel ceiling stuff. There's even some like scary jack-o'-lantern and tombstone stuff. But the one thing I want to talk about on this certain list right here is it says Lifesize Freddy Krueger Scary for $210. I think this is the Gemmy 2019 Freddy Krueger. They sold it last year, but I guess they're bringing it back. I don't know for sure if this is the exact same one. I don't think they would make a second one. And it's kind of weird because I know some later licensed props on this list are much more expensive and this one is less. So it's kind of weird. I never saw Freddy last year, so I don't remember the price of him. However, if he's coming back, that's cool, I guess. I never saw him last year. I only saw Pennywise last year, so I guess that is kind of cool he's back. Alright, now we're actually getting into more interesting stuff and things that I can talk about better here. We have a blow mold ghost with pumpkin for $40, and it actually has images I'm showing right here. Honestly, it looks kind of cute and cool. I'm not really a huge blow mold person, so I won't buy it. I am curious to see how cool it is in person, but it looks pretty nice. It is 24 inches as well, so that's pretty nice. We also have another blow mold that is 24 inches. This is the Happy Halloween pumpkin. There's no images as of now, and it's going to be $30. Next we have is a Nightmare Before Christmas Flat-Tastic retro scene. I'm very curious to see what that is. It's going to be $55, which is definitely a lot, but I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty interested to see that. Next is a Nightmare Before Christmas Singing Jack pumpkin for $27, and we've actually already seen this in the past. Last year, we had a new version of the Singing Jack pumpkin. I believe Morris Costumes was selling it, even like Big Lots and stuff like that. I actually never saw it last year, and I'm actually pretty excited because I've always wanted one. I even want the Spirit one still, so I'm very excited to see that this guy is actually coming back, but at Lowe's, and I think I am going to honestly buy it. For $27, I can see myself having it, so I think I will buy it this year, honestly. Next, continuing that Nightmare Before Christmas line, we have the Jack White Pumpkin for $17. Also an Oogie Boogie one, and a Red Sally Pumpkin for also $17. These are all $17, and we've seen, I believe, versions of it. I'm not exactly sure if they've changed anything on it, but it's pretty cool to see some of that. Again, not very interesting, but kind of nice. And then next we have is an animated doorbell from the Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm honestly really excited for this because I'm a big fan of the Gemmy doorbells, so I think this could be pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like something from the movie. Like, I think Jack does have a doorbell at his place. I'm not sure if it's based off that or just a different variation or original creation, but I am regardless excited to see that. We have another Flat-Tastic Oogie Boogie that is going to be $45. Also, the doorbell is going to be $23. And the doorbell, I can see myself buying it, but it's actually good. So maybe that might be one I get, honestly. I'm excited to hear more about that one. Next we have is a blow mold Jack with skull, and we actually have images of this. Pretty nice looking. I'm not going to be buying this because I'm not really a big blow mold guy, but honestly it looks really nice. The skull looks kind of cute too. Then we have an Oogie Boogie version, which is very intriguing. It holds a spider, and these are both going to be $27. Now for the same price, we also have a full mold Sally with Oogie Boogie Jack-o'-lantern. Now I actually thought there was images of this thing out, but I guess not. Maybe it was something else, but I thought there was. Maybe there still is. I don't know. I don't have any images. I tried looking for some. I don't see any. But there is a Sally with an Oogie Boogie Jack-o'-lantern. I guess that sounds pretty nice if I never saw it, but yep, that exists too. Next we have is a 14-inch animated Jack Skellington prop. This is going to be $35, and I actually have this. This was sold last year, also to many companies. I got mine from Party City on a clearance sale online. It's basically a smaller version of the life-size Jack Skellington. It's in the same style as those mini horror characters. It's actually really unique. I love that thing so much. It's really nice. I already have it again, but I am glad to see it come to stores so I can see it in stores even if I already have it. Next is much more Nightmare Before Christmas items. We have a 29.5-inch blow mold Jack as vampire. And we have images of it right here. And honestly, another little cute one. Not really much to say about it, but it is pretty cute. And it's going to be $60. Then we have an animated Jack Tombstone Creeper. That's going to be $109. So I'm very curious to see this because this is definitely a life size, and I didn't know that Lowe's was going to be doing the life size Nightmare Before Christmas characters like Spirit and Home Depot have done in the past. So I am very intrigued to see this because I usually love those props, and I am really wanting to see this now, honestly. With that being said, we also have a 5-foot lamppost that's going to be $110. That might be one I actually get to because it'd be pretty cool scenery with the other Nightmare Before Christmas props. So honestly, really interesting. Then we have a hanging Jack Skellington head for $25. A lighted retro wreath for $35. We have a tote bag, going to be for $13. And that is it for the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Very big lineup, honestly. Then we have some standard Halloween items. We have an animated scary girl with doll and a animated bouncing clown. Both are going to be $25, and we've already seen these things by Sunstar. I'm pretty sure they're just Sunstar things distributed by Gemmy, so I don't think there'll be anything too interesting. Probably the same ones we've seen in the past. Next we have the 20-inch lighted clown face for $60. Then we have this. We have possibly, because you know how last year we had the Freddy Krueger and the Pennywise, and the Freddy Krueger might be coming back this year. We have the life-size Halloween 2 Michael Myers for $240, and oh my goodness, this is the Gemmy Michael Myers that came out in 2020, and they've been selling it since. I cannot believe this guy's going to be at Lowe's. I really hope I see it just to see how bad it is. I've never seen it in person. I cannot believe Lowe's is getting this. This is going to be so bad for them, honestly. This is one of the worst props in modern history of Halloween props. This is just so bad. So I am very intrigued to see it because it's going to be so funny. With that being said, we actually have a good one. We have a life-size Jason Voorhees. This prop was supposed to come out in 2019. It never got really far. Then it was in the J. Marcus booth in 2020. And honestly, it looked kind of okay. It looked really weird then. And then in 2021, Morris was going to sell it, and it never came out. We even had images then too. It looked a bit better than 2020, but it still looked kind of weird. And then in 2022, they released an image on Morris costumes of the Jason, since this year they're selling it, and I never got to talk about it. But honestly, it looks kind of good. It's not the best Jason, obviously. It looks too much like the 2010 one, but worse. But to be honest, it still looks good on its own. I probably won't buy it because I really want the 2010 version. And if I have two that look very similar, just one is worse, I don't really like that, so I don't think I'll get the newer one. But it's not bad by any means. It's just not my favorite Jason. I'm actually kind of hyped to see that just because it's one of the better modern horror characters from Gemmy. Next we have is a 28-inch animated life-size creepy female for $50. Then an animated life-size creepy male for $50 as well. I'm kind of rounding up these prices because they're kind of weird. I'm just sure they're placeholder prices. I'm not really sure, but yep, that is the entire lineup on this page. On this page, there isn't really anything that great going on. We just have those pumpkin pushing things that you put on your pumpkins. But we do have some greeters. We have Dr. Finkelstein. We have the mayor of Halloween Town. We have Jack Skellington, Oogie Boogie, Zero, and Sally. Those are going to be around $30. On this page, it's kind of more of that trick-or-treating stuff. However, there is some skeleton things. There's like a skeleton frog, crow, bat, piranha, going for around $7. On this page, there's a bunch of tombstones, posable spiders, fabric, staining witches. There's also just more flying witch stuff, skeleton fences, and different colors of cloth. Back to more intriguing stuff, we got some Hanging Sally, Hanging Vampire Jack. We have a Haunted Mansion animated tombstone going for $109, which is a lot of money, but it does look really nice. I honestly really want it, but seeing that price tag, I just now finally found that price tag out. I don't know if I'll get it. Depends on how big it is in person, but it is really great looking. Here's an image of it. The colors look a little weird, but it looks fine nonetheless. And we also have some hitchhiking ghosts. We have a hitchhiking ghost prisoner, Gus, Ezra, and Phineas. Now these actually, I believe, are the little characters that Home Depot's also selling because they're $30, and they're pretty close to that price. Here are some of the images. I believe what they're talking about are these guys. I didn't really talk about these in my Home Depot video, but I don't really care about these. They just aren't my style, I guess, of decorations, but they're there. Then we have some more blow mold stuff. We have a blow mold jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. We have a blow mold Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Next we have the animated hanging zombie. That is going to be $25. Interesting. We also have an animated skeleton with harmonica. We have an animated skeleton witch with potion, and we have an 18-inch cat that says Happy Halloween. The skeleton stuff is going to be $50, by the way, so I wonder how good it is for that much. This is where stuff gets more interesting. We have a 61-inch lighted spooky tree for $119, and a LED jack-o'-lantern for $80. That is the least interesting stuff, but here we have a life-size Chucky for $70. If you guys don't know, I did talk about it in my Morris costume video, and I'm sure most people know by now. This is actually referring to the Gemmy Chucky that Morris Costumes is actually selling, and I guess Lowe's will be selling it in stores now. If you guys remember that video, I didn't really talk about it much, but I don't really like the new roaming Chucky by Gemmy. I feel like that mold just doesn't work, and I think it looks kind of bad for a 2-foot roaming Chucky, which is probably going to be 2 foot. And I feel like the roaming Chucky idea is already used too much, and I even think the base looks weird, so honestly, I do not care about this thing, and I still don't. However, I am very intrigued to see it in person. Again, that size might be 2 feet, could be taller, could be smaller, I'm not really sure. I just feel like that mold it's using, which is from the tabletop versions, doesn't really fit a bigger version. They should have done a different mold. It just doesn't look that great, honestly. But then we have an animated crawling zombie for $35. I'm very intrigued to see that. It might be like a Sunstar looking thing, might be a cooler Gemmy looking prop. And then there's the Lifesize Gravedigger for $160, and we actually do have images of this right here. As you can see, it looks like Techie and PartyTime had a baby and made this, and yeah, that's what it basically looks like. It's probably the same factory as the Techie one, however, it is changed up. It does look different, and to be honest, it looks kind of worse. I'm not really a big fan of the design. It doesn't look like terrible per se, it just doesn't look that great. It's weird looking. Even the stance is kind of weird. Like the Techie one actually looks like it's like crouching down. This is kind of just hovering weirdly, and I don't think it looks good. I guess it doesn't look that bad like the clothing, but the rest just doesn't look that great, to be honest. Not a big fan of this one. Next is probably the grand finale. This is the big page with basically the most stuff on it that we've seen. We have a 6-foot lighted hanging witch. That's going to be $30. We have a 30-inch pirate hanging skeleton for $20. Then we have a hanging zombie baby with light up eyes for $20. We have a hanging shaking skeleton prisoner for $30. There's a picture of it. This is very similar to the one that Walmart sold last year, except it has prison clothes. It's basically just a zombie in prison clothes. We've actually seen just a normal zombie one at Walmart. Pretty nice looking. I kind of like it. I don't think I'll get it, but it is kind of nice looking. Then we have the hanging shaking menacing clown for $30, and this is basically hanging hugs. We have images of it from the Lowe's website and here, and honestly, this is just great. I love hanging hugs. I am glad he's basically almost everywhere now. We saw him at Walmart last year, then this year it's at Halloween Costumes and Lowe's. And honestly, I'm excited to see this one. I already have it. I got it last year at Walmart, but I kind of want to get it just to have that Lowe's tag, to be honest. I kind of want to have one with the Lowe's tag, but besides that, I am really hyped to see it in stores. Then we have a 5-foot animated creepy female for $80. There's no images. We have a lighted skeleton wreath for $25, and then a skeleton with coffin wreath for $30. No images on that yet. Then we have a 7-foot evil witch with crystal ball for $200. Here's an image of it right here. It is going to be by SVI, I believe. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of it. I have never really cared for the SVI witches. If you guys see my previous videos on all this stuff, you'd already know I do not like SVI witches, and this is not an exception. I don't like this one that much. We also have an animated scary clown that is green. That's going to be $159. And here's an image of it. Honestly, I kind of like this one. My only complaint is that the shoes are way too small, and like I don't like how there's like two different shades of hair. Like the ones near the roots of the hair are like a darker red, and then the top of it's like a lighter red. It doesn't look that great. I don't know why it's like that. It looks kind of weird. And then we have a 7-foot animated Reaper with Hourglass. This is going to be $200 almost. And this one I don't like at all. I feel like it looks kind of cool, but the proportions are so weird. This is made by Gemmy, so very cool to see Gemmy trying to make that higher step, but it's not really working with the proportions on this one. Then we have an animated scary clown that is black and white. This one now I think is the one I would definitely get. I believe this one is going to be $65. If that is the correct price, this could change. Like this could change to $165 eventually, because I'm pretty sure this is the PartyTime Killer Circus clown that was sold in Australia last year and at Halloween costumes this year. I'm pretty certain it's that. If not, it could be just a total different clown. However, it's also 5 feet like that one, so I kind of made the connection there. Kind of like the Freddy Krueger thing. This is only a theory. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be that, but if it is, I want to buy it for $65. If not, it can be another cheapo prop. And finally, we have the 12-foot animated mummy for $350. And honestly, wow. I never got to talk about it, but in April, beginning of April, like April 1st, we saw Gemmy make a little post hinting at a prop coming out. We didn't know what it was. It was just like this mummy that was twisting, and we even saw like earlier glimpses of like a mummy coming from the Gemmy. And then the same day, images got leaked from factory showing this prop, and yep, it's a 12-foot animated mummy. This guy has different glowing lights inside of him. It turns side to side, and it is very interesting because this is basically Gemmy's attempt at making a 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot. They're definitely trying to get on par with them, but to be honest, it's not really working. I feel like the face on the 12-foot mummy doesn't look that great. It looks kind of weird. Here's some images. I don't like how it's color changing. That kind of ruins the effect, and I don't know if it's like different switches, but if it really is color changing, that's going to be kind of weird. And finally, I don't like that it's animated. I know that sounds kind of cool in concept, but if you have this guy outside during the season, because I put my 12-foot skeletons out during like the season time and just leave them out and not have to worry about them. With this, you have to worry about it because it's animated, so you don't want it to get ruined in the rain. You got to take it down, put it back up, and honestly, that's too much stress. To be honest, I think it would have been better if it was just a static, not animated at all. But that's just my opinion, and I just don't think it looks as good as the other 12-foot characters that Home Depot is currently and is going to sell in the future. Just not really liking this one so far. And it's kind of sad because I'm a big mummy guy, but so far this one is just not doing it for me, and I'm not really going to buy it. And even that, for the price tag, you can save $50 and get the 12-foot skeleton, or you can spend $30 and get the Infernal Pumpkin skeleton, which is better, so honestly, I don't really recommend it so far. But yeah, that is overall my thoughts on the whole entire Lowe's lineup so far. Every year we get some sort of list like this where an employee takes a picture of the screen, the price list screen, and shows these, and then the images too. I'm not really sure if we're going to get any more images before the stuff comes out in stores. If not, this might be my only Lowe's video until stores have stuff. And if that's not correct, then we'll probably see a part 2 of this video out. That's everything so far, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And please subscribe, because now that I finally covered basically mostly all the Halloween stuff, I'm going to hopefully start doing some more other videos. I want to make a video soon about something with Spirit, so stay tuned with that. That's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you guys later, and please subscribe if you haven't already.